to tell me that I still look like shit. Be serious. You know, I think that having a lot of self-awareness can be somewhat detrimental because there's always going to be something that we miss. Usually it's food in my teeth or crusties around my mouth. Or maybe my shirt's on backwards or something. That happens more than it should. But it's like if you care about conduct, you don't really care about physical appearance. Because you know that it's secondary to what is more important. People that care about appearance more than they do conduct, they don't understand this logic at all because they think, oh, but what will people say? That's my mother to a T. And I'm well aware of the fact that, like, anytime that you say anything negative about somebody else, you just come across as, like, hateful and resentful and, like, you don't appreciate anything good about that person, and that's not true. But at the same time, reverse that. Just because you appreciate things doesn't mean that you can't see that person's negative qualities or how they might have spoken to you in a way that wasn't necessary, or they are controlling. And I was thinking about this today, like how much I utterly despise control freaks, and it has everything to do with how I was raised. And I'm sure you've gathered that anybody that's been in a house of helicopter parents and a family that insists on speaking for you, they can probably already gather that with me, that's what's going on, and that's why I rationalize drug use. I mean, we live in such a narcissistic world. We live in a world that's so authoritative, it's not even funny, and they're not right about anything. There's such a one-size-fits-all approach in regards to education, medicine, art. I mean, look at artists from every single era. Look at bands from every single era. They all do the same thing. And the ones that stand out, most people haven't heard of them because they stood out, They were over there because they didn't care about fame and they didn't care about money. And they still made a name for themselves, but only a select few know about it because those select few are actually cool, alright? But that's why, like, I don't try any harder to, like, push what I'm doing or be recognized in any kind of way, because I just feel like the people that are supposed to know about it will know about it. That sounds a little pretentious, doesn't it?
I mean, if you know, you know. I would say that most people can't handle me. So it's better that they don't know about me anyway. That's why I don't tell people about this channel. I mean, my family knows that I do it, but I've specifically told them not to watch it. Because I know how they are. I know how they react to everything. And luckily my parents, we've always butt heads. So they know my taste. They hate everything that I love. And they love everything that I hate. So if I tell them, like, you're not going to like what I do, they trust that I'm right about that, so they don't even bother looking at it. You think this would bother me, but it really doesn't. It used to. But then I realized that, you know, you don't need family to support you. You don't need friends to support you. You don't need a significant other to support you. If you can't support yourself, you fucking suck at whatever you're doing. You know? You have to have that confidence. I see this a lot with comics that are new to it. They bring their family, they bring their friends. They don't last. They never last. Because they're not doing it for the right reason. Now, I try to be encouraging, which is very hard for me, okay? I try to be encouraging. I try to be conventional and be like, oh, that's great. That's great. You have all this support. They're not going to come here ever again. But I'm glad they came this one and only time. But I'll see that where somebody will bring their girlfriend or their wife along and they're there like maybe 3 times. If they're actually like really supportive, they're there like 3 times and then they're done. They're like, I can't do this anymore. Like, they like me because I'm honest with them. I'm like, dude, I'm surprised you're still here. You know, I'm surprised you came back. But yeah, most people won't do it. Because who wants to sit through a bunch of shitty comedy open mic? I mean, there's so much shitty comedy on Netflix. There's so much shitty comedy on Instagram and TikTok and all that. Who would want to force themselves to sit through that? You know, somebody had said something to me. They were trying to be mean, but I actually really agreed with them. They were talking about some performance that I did at Third Coast Comedy Club about a month ago, something like that. And they said something along the lines of like, this is a reminder like why people shouldn't ever come to comedy clubs. I was like, yeah, you're fucking right, dude. I would say that about any comedy because you're really taking a chance, you know? Because comedy is based solely on that person's perspective and what they find funny and what they find interesting and entertaining and all that. So, I applaud people for taking that chance, but you really have to love comedy in order to do that, you know? But I do believe that comedy in its natural art form does not exist anymore. I really am the only one left, which is why nobody knows about me.